Good morning, leaders. Thank you for showing up. And just comment with one if you are able to hear my voice. Comment one if you can hear me, and two if you are able to see my screen, the screen. Okay, all right. Now that's amazing. Okay, so my name is Princeton Chisenga. I'm a forever business owner, and I'm a medical doctor by profession. Um, Today we are going to be a little bit faster. Last time we had talked a lot of things and we almost ran out of time. Okay, so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to bounce back stronger. And mostly this is when sometimes the business might feel tough, or maybe you set a goal, maybe too big, and you fail to reach your target. So you start feeling low, you start having running out of energy. Yeah. Yeah. So we're just going to talk about what to do when things don't go as planned and how you can restart with power. I just came up with this because I know it's the beginning of the month, and most of the time you find that the previous month things didn't really was planned. Maybe you had plans to level up and didn't happen. Maybe you had plans on um, recruiting this number of people and didn't happen. So, or maybe just some other goals that you hadn't planned but didn't happen. So we're just going to talk about that and then we move forward. Okay. So when things fall apart, mostly it's normal. Yeah, it's part of the process. It's something that you can't say you are 100% in control. Yeah, it's normal to face setbacks, whether in life, in business, in school. Yeah, the only thing that you need to do is you don't have to panic, and you just need to take a short break and ask yourself what really went wrong. Yeah. And also you don't use it as a defeat. You need to use it as a feedback. Failure just means it's either you did something which is not working, or there should be a strategy which is not working for you. Yeah, maybe you might have used a strategy that is working for someone else because they've mastered that craft, but you are just starting out or trying out, so it didn't really work. Yeah, and also it can happen because maybe you had uh, too much expectation in a short period of time. What we are building when you're building business, it's a long-term thing. It doesn't just happen overnight. So it might you might be thinking it have failed, but technically you haven't failed. You just planted a seed and the seed has not yet germinated. Yes. So those are the things that usually happens. Yeah. So what common challenges that usually we face, like the common challenges in business, the common challenge where you find that there are no sales despite the effort. Maybe you've put a lot of effort in trying to make sales and it's not working. Maybe people are not buying. Yeah. Sorry. So then if it's in our network marketing, let's say you've been in a business for some time and you have a team, you just find that the team is not so active. Like maybe they are not doing the activities, you talk to them, they are not so responsive. Sometimes you can even give them calls, they're not even picking calls. You know, you send them a message, they reply after 2 days. You know, maybe it's just because you can also consider it in terms of social media. The engagement is just so low that you feel like you're not doing anything. Yeah, so you lose your motivation and you lose your energy. because we get motivated when you start seeing results. You start having that energy when you are seeing the results. Yeah, so those are the common challenges that we usually face in business, especially network marketing. Yeah, because in network marketing, we do two things. We sell products and we recruit people and we coach these people. So the most challenge is when those things are not happening. Those are the common challenges that we face. Yes, there are more other challenges, but these are the most common challenges that usually make us lose that motivation and the energy. Yeah. So you can just post some fire if you are able to relate to these challenges. If you maybe you faced it before, or maybe your team not so active in some months back in the business. Yeah. Okay, leader. So yeah. Then another thing that you need to do is you need to reflect and reset. As the month just ended, the other thing that you just need to do now is now reflect on the previous month. Reflect on how it was. You don't have to blame yourself and or you blame others. I know in most cases in network marketing, when business doesn't really go as planned, the first thing that we start doing, one, we blame the upline not giving us enough support. You start blaming the products are too expensive. You start blaming the economy. You blame everything. Yeah. Sometimes you can even blame yourself so harshly that you start looking down on yourself and saying, you know what, just can't do this. It's not just meant for me. Mm, that mindset comes up when things don't go as planned. This usually happens a lot when you have like a quick goal that you need to achieve and it's not happening. Yeah. All you have to do is reflect honestly and ask yourself, was I consistent? Did I do the business in the right way? Was I talking to new people? Did I do follow up? Mm, Are the strategies that I used, did I follow according to the plan? Because most of the times, they say success leaves a clue. Everything that you did last month, you can track it. Yeah. If you can track every activity that you did. Yeah, if you can go on a weekly planner, you go and see the activities that you were doing. Then you can easily see, okay, last last month I did this, I did that, I did that, so that you you see if what you did was the right thing. Yeah, and also you need to go back and see you can be doing activities, but you're not doing it the right way. So you go back and see, is what I was doing the right way? Yeah, because everything has got a process in which they're supposed to follow. You know, it could be when it comes to, let me give an example of recruiting. Okay, we need new contacting, sharing the opportunity, following up, or maybe closing. You need to use the right words. You need to help in short, you need to educate the prospect in a right way. But if you just miss it, or you just don't do any of those steps in the right way, then you find that the results will not come there because something somewhere wasn't right. That's just how it works. It's the system. You can change it. All you have to do is accept it and follow it that way. Yeah. Trying to make a shortcut doesn't really work, doesn't end well. And that's what mostly happens if you want to go and maybe you are so desperately wanting it so bad that you want it happen fast and you end up not doing the right thing. And instead you fail. You it doesn't happen. Yeah, and that will definitely demotivate you and it makes you lose the energy. Okay, so This is the things that you just need to do. Reflect and reset. Ask yourself questions honestly if you are consistent, if you are talking to new people, and if you are doing enough follow up and also following up in the right way. Yeah. Then another thing that you need to do now is just to go and reconnect with your why. Why did you start the business? Is it because of financial freedom? Is it family? You wanted to support your family? Is it your health? Okay. If you keep your why visible every day, it will keep you. As for me, my why is actually like the foundation of no matter how hard the business gets. I always just go back to why I started the business in the first place. Because if I just remember why, then it will keep me. Yeah. I always even go back to my team and it ask them if they are not doing well, why did you start the business? Because even the time someone just sign up during the planning we do, you go, you sit down, you ask them to write their goals. Yeah, that's where you also have to keep those their goals so serious. Maybe you can write them somewhere so that every time that they are not doing so well, you can easily go back and remind them to say, the time we started the business, you said this is what you wanted. This is why you started the business. But based on what is happening, based on the activities that you're putting into the business and the effort, your why seems not to be so strong. Tell me, how can I help? You know, where do you think is the problem? That way, they'll be able to say, okay, my upline cares, and the person just wants me to be successful. Yeah. No, we're in business that you need to touch someone's life. You need to lift someone up if you also want to live. Yeah. So that is why you need to reconnect with your why, uh, go back in time and see, okay, why did I start the business? Is it financial freedom? It, is it I want to live a good life? Is it like I want to improve my health? Then go deep down, you know, go down deep until you find that emotional part of you that is connecting with your why. Believe me, if you just do that, if you find that emotional part of your why, you'll wake up every day doing it, even if it's not working. You'll go back to basics again. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing that you need to do. Okay. Then after you found your why and you've established, you find that emotional part. Now all you need to do now is go back to basics. Go back to the basics. The few things that we actually been told. Let's say if you're using a first step to manager, it has a step by step on how you can build your business. Go back to that. If it means talking to people, just go back and start talking to 3 to 5 people daily. If you're doing it full time, go and talk to 10 people daily. You know, post consistently. And John Rich usually says, marry the activity and divorce the result. All you have to do is ask yourself, what activities am I supposed to be doing in order to get my goals, and forget about getting the goals and focus now on activities. Talk to people every day, you know post consistently, you share value to people, your story, your lifestyle, you know follow up. People say follow up is in fortune, and it truly is, because if you most of the sales or most of the recruitment, it only comes after you follow up. You know, Fortunes are in the follow up. So don't, even if things didn't go, but people didn't join your business last month, they promised to join the business, but they never picked up the calls. They promised to buy the product, but they never picked up the calls. Go back and talk to them again. Follow up once again, especially in the beginning. As the month just ended, or the July just ended. So following up in the first week, follow up on those people that promised to buy on the month and last month, those that promised to join the business on the month end. You can follow them up. You never know what happened. When you follow up, they're definitely going to give you a proper reason, and still feel you stop feeling like you just didn't do much. Yeah, when it comes to the team, uh, you can also, now this is actually the time to do volume up, the check-in, checking on the team, what goals they are having, what they want to achieve, so that now you can create that momentum and build the business from the start. Yeah. Also, you need to learn new skills weekly. You know, if you need to understand where your weakness are. And I know most people are depending on who you usually listen to. Others prefer to say, no, no, you just need to focus on your strength and go in. Then others say, do improve on what you are not good at. Like, yes, learning something new every day is very important. As you are trying to focus on something that you are good at, yeah, but also you need to learn something new. If you know that, okay, I'm not good at one-to-one, try something new. If you're not, if you realize, okay, I don't do much of the follow-up, learn the skill on following up. If it's sales, learn the skill. Yeah, there are a lot of information out there on social media, books. If it sells, you can even use a Brian Tracy's book, The Psychology of Selling. When it comes to building your network marketing, we have GoPro, 7 steps to becoming a network marketing pro. You know, I've listened to that book almost 100 times from the time that I started the business, and every day I always see where I'm not doing fine. Yeah, so you need to go back and learn new skills. You know, if you have the skill, if you have more confidence, you won't feel like you're going to fail. Even if things don't go as planned, you can easily go back on track. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So the link, okay, I'll try to share in the group, but it's also on YouTube. Once you just search GoPro by Eric Worre, um there is a link there. Quite a lot of channels from network marketers. Okay. So those are the things that you need to do when you just go back to the basics. Yes. Yes. Then another thing that you just need to do now is you need to reignite your fire. Launch a 5-day product or habit challenge. Offer a small promo or giveaway to your team. Uh, you need to do a Zoom meeting or training course, plug into your upline or any support. Yeah, you need to do that. You know, because if you don't, then you you feel that out of energy. You need to create momentum. If you just want your business to work, you yourself, you're supposed to work. The business, there's no business that has no challenges, everywhere. The only one thing that I love about network marketing, apart from any other parties, we have a strong support system. You know, if things just doesn't go as planned, you can go to your upline, you can go maybe it's a sideline, someone who's able to mentor you or push you. And also one thing that is the fact is success leaves clues. We have all these top leaders that have done very well in their business. And all we have to do is do the same thing that they did. If you see that the business is it's not working right now, you can go back and ask, leader, my business is not really doing so well and I need help. You know, and this is what I did last month. This is what I did, and these are the results that I got. Where do you think I made a mistake? How can I improve? No, you don't have to be an island thinking you can do it all by yourself. We all need support. Yeah. And yes, so go to your team again. After you've gone to your upline, and then you go to your team now and share the same coaching that you received from your mentor, from your upline. You duplicate everything that you've been told, so that now you have that fire in your team. Yeah, because in our business we say it's a monkey see, monkey do business. If at all as an you are like as a leader you fall, you don't. It will be very easy even for the entire team to fall. If you don't perform well, or then even the team will not perform well, not until they are developed into leaders where now they understand that they don't need to really look up to you, but they are beyond you. Then that's when you can say, okay, my business is now strong. But if the business is not very strong, then if you don't perform well, even the team will not perform well. The energy will start draining. Yeah. So that's the thing. If you want to EV your team to have massive sales, first you yourself, you need to start making massive sales. They'll start doing, oh, our leader is doing well. Let's also pull up our socks and start doing the activities. Yeah. So that's the alternative on how you can reignite your fire into the business. Yeah. Yeah. So then also you need to keep going with your daily habits, personal growth before the day starts. Yeah, maybe maybe it could be during or after the 5 a.m. You do some exercise, do 30, 40 feet cardio. If it means going to the gym, if it means jogging or just doing some exercise from home, just do it. Then also read something. What the good part about reading is it requires focus. You can't be reading, you can't read a book. Let's say you have a book with you. You can't read a book while talking to another person and you understand what's in there. You need to have that mental focus. You need to look, your eyes need to be focused, and then you need to process the words, and then you move sentence by sentence. That's focus. And the reading helps to improve focus, not just improving your skills and knowledge, but also it helps you to improve the focus. Because in business goals, you have challenges that will come, things, distractions, and you need to keep the focus. Yeah, then you also do your daily direct messages, call outreach, weekly reflection and review. After a week, you'll see how has been the business. Where did I do wrong? Did I do everything right? Where do I need to improve? Yeah. And also, it's very important that we encourage at least one team member per week. Just by encouraging others, you're also encouraging yourself to do it, with more energy and commitment. Yes. So this is the few things that I just thought of sharing with you, and also understand. Yeah. So a quick reset checklist that you can just do is write down what went wrong after you review the business, then write down what you are grateful for, because sometimes also it not sometimes always it's very, very useful to be grateful. I mean, it's very important. Every time you go back, you see things that you've done before. You say, okay, um, I know things are not going really like that where I want, but at least I have got my health. At least I'm breathing. I'm not dead. At least yeah, I have a house. I have a shelter. I have the tools. Just be grateful for what you have at that moment. That way it will help you, and you set yourself up for success. Yeah, and also don't depend on the strong will. For me, I don't really depend on my that strong will to say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. You know, I prefer creating an environment where I need to use less energy for something to do something instead of depending on like I need to really force myself. No, I need to create just an environment where I feel easy, where it's much easier for me to do it instead of depending on that. And yeah, so set one clear goal, realistic goal for the week. Yeah, because if you set that one clear goal and you have that focus, by the end of the week, if it's done, it will give you more energy now to push even further. Yeah, you need to take that one bold action just today. Yeah, I know this is like the beginning of the week, and it's the best time to even start a new habit or something new. Yeah, so just take one bold action today and say, you know what, I'm going to stick to this and have that focus and don't allow distraction and just focus on it and making sure that it's done. And once it's done, believe me, you will have that momentum, you will have that positive mindset. You'll say, you know what, I'm going for more. Yeah, if I'm just from doing this, then I need to go for more. Yeah. So those are the few things that you can do uh, as a quick reset checklist. Yeah. So that is what I thought I should share with you. I don't know if you have more questions, if you have more contributions. uh, Okay. Yes. So the final motivation that I can just tell, like every master once was once a disaster. You can't start uh from the top. You can't climb the ladder from the roof. You need to climb the ladder from the ground. Then you go to the top. So every master was once a disaster. All you have to do is keep showing up, keep learning, and keep growing because you've got this. Yeah. So this is it. This is what I just thought of sharing with you. I know last month might not, it might be good for some people, but for others, it might not be as so good. Maybe their level up that wasn't so, that didn't happen. Maybe you wanted to raise supervisors, you wanted to recruit, you wanted to have so many CCs. Maybe you are the Kaplan, but maybe it didn't happen. So you might have feeling like, no, you know what, I don't think I can do it. All you have to do is you just need to remember that every master was once a disaster. So I'm gonna go show up again and I'm going to do it over and over again until it gets done. Okay, so if you have questions or if you have any, please feel free to just write in the chat. So ask leader, either you can just unmute so that you can give access for people so that they can be unmuting so that they can share. I think we have at least 5 minutes